What's up, boys? In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the Megapithecus boss fight. This will work for Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. The boss fight I do in the video is Alpha, but it'll work for any of them. And it's not crazy requirements either. So I'm going to run through all the requirements really quick. If you need to pause the video at any point, you can. But I'm going to try to move through the requirements pretty fast so I don't bore anybody. The Megapithecus boss fight should be the first fight that you're doing, because it's the only boss that gives you the tech gen, and pretty much all tech stuff is useless unless you have a tech gen. I mean, there's a few exceptions to that, of course, but you need the tech gen for a lot of the important shit. But let's go over the requirements real quick. So your character is going to need to be level 85 in order to start the alpha boss fight, 65 for the beta, and 45 for the gamma. Honestly, the alpha is super easy, so I don't see why you would want to do the two other ones unless you just don't feel like getting the tributes, but do what you want. For the tributes, you're going to need Megalania Toxin, Megalodon Teeth, Spinosails, Therizino Claws, and Thylaclaws. You're going to need 10 of each of those for Alpha and 5 of each of those for Beta. You don't need any tributes for Gamma. For the artifacts, you're going to need Artifact of the Brute, Artifact of the Devourer, and Artifact of the Pack. You could find Brute in Easy Underwater, you could find the Devourer in Carno Cave, and you could find Pack in the Upper South or the Pack Cave. I've heard people call the last cave Pack Cave or Upper South, so whatever you want to call it. I do want to mention this boss fight was done on an official Small Tribes PvP server, so it's not single player settings or any weird settings. It's the official settings for Small Tribes. This boss fight will be even easier in single player, and if you're playing on unofficial servers, it could be easier on those too. Very rarely is it harder on an unofficial server than it is on official. So on the island, Megalania Toxin could be a pain in the ass to get. So what we like to do is we get a breeding pair of Megalanias and just breed them and kill the babies to get Megalania Toxin. Megalodon Teeth are pretty easy to get, Spinosails pretty easy, Claws are pretty easy, and Thylaclaws are kind of annoying, but they're not too bad either. So we did this with 5 people, and we only used 2 kangaroos and 2 saddles. The kangaroos that we used, or the Procoptodons that we used, were complete trash. I think one of them was like level 60. The other one, and I'm talking about after tame, and the other one was like level 100. Because if you get hit by one of the rocks by the Megapithecus, you're pretty much dead anyway. There probably is some kangaroos that could tank a few hits, but you don't want to get hit by those rocks. As long as you know what you're doing, you should be alright. It's probably better to bring more than 2 kangaroos. We only brought 2, but it was super sketchy. If you bring more than 2 kangaroos, just make sure you're willing to sacrifice whatever kangaroo you're on, because you might not have enough room on that ledge that you have to get on to keep all of the kangaroos up there. You might have to make some of them jump back on the ground with the Megapithecus, and once that happens, it's pretty much insta-dead. As for armor, you don't really even need anything crazy. Just make sure you get some armor on that has some decent cold resistance, preferably fur, and you could bring some Freya curries if you want to. You just want to be able to survive the cold, basically. Freya curries make cold areas not nearly as bad, and obviously so does fur. For shotguns, like I said, we only had 5 people, and we were able to beat it with only 200% damage shotguns. I think the shotguns we had were like 209% damage or something like that, but we finished with a lot of time left. So honestly, I put 200% plus shotguns, but I think as long as your whole group has like pretty decent shotguns, like 180 plus, I think you could do it, especially if you have 6 people. And I would bring about 400 shotgun rounds per person just to be safe. 500 is probably the max you'll need using 180% shotguns. I think the Megapithecus has the lowest amount of health out of all 3 bosses, so it dies pretty quick. The more people you have, the lower shotgun damage you can have, and the lower ammo per person, or the more ammo per person and the more shotgun damage. Basically, the more players you have, the shittier shotguns you can use, and the lower amount of shotgun shells each person will need, and vice versa. If you have med brews, I think you'll be good with like 20 med brews a player. You may need a bit more if you don't have fur armor, because you're going to be dying from the freezing cold. It's really not hard to get fur armor though. Like, I would just craft the fur armor, at least prim. And of course you're going to want to bring food and water. The cold is going to kill your food. Alright, so I'm going to explain the strategy that we use for doing the Megapithecus boss fight, and then I'm going to just play the rest of the footage. That way you can get an idea of how to do it. So as soon as you get into the boss fight arena, some people are going to hop on the kangaroos and the other people are going to hop in the pouch. And you start heading towards the stairs that lead up to the arena, and you'll see Megapithecus. This is where it's sketchy. This is like the sketchiest part of the whole thing. While he's chasing you and throwing rocks at you, you got to come around on this ledge. And then look at this bridge, and you're going to jump directly on the left side of the crack. And you could get up on this ledge. And see, I hop out. And my tribe mate Void hops back down to go pick up another one of our tribe mates. Which is pretty unnecessary. If we would have brought an extra kangaroo, we wouldn't have had to do that. But as you can see, it still worked out for us somehow. Yeah, you just park the kangaroo up in that corner. And then once you get all your tribe mates up here, you just shotgun him until he's completely dead. I like to clear all the bushes off the ledge, that way I don't accidentally step off. And then you just shotgun them. No rocks even got close to landing up top with us. I do think it's possible, but it's pretty unlikely because it didn't happen to us the entire time we were up here. So just keep an eye out. If you start to see a rock coming, try to dodge it if you can. If the rock hits you, you're dead. We were able to finish the boss with 12 minutes remaining. So you can do this boss fight with way shittier shotguns. You could probably even 4-man it. I'm not going to go over all the structures that you get from doing Gamma, Beta, and Alpha. But I'll go over the main items that each of them give you. So if you just do the Gamma, you don't get the Tech Gen, which is the main reason that people are doing this boss fight. But you get the Rep and the Tech Gauntlets. And Beta, you get the Tech Gen from Beta, and the Rep, which you get the Rep from the Gamma, but you get Tech Rifle that Gamma doesn't give you. You get Tech Trough, which Gamma doesn't give you, and then a bunch more structures. And then Alpha, you get the Rex Tech Saddle, which the other two don't give you. You get the Tech Grenade, which the other two don't give you, and then more tech structures. So you could do Beta to get the Tech Gen if you're worried about not being able to beat it, but I'd recommend just doing Alpha because it's not that bad. And on top of that, you'll get the Rex Tech Saddle, the Tech Grenades, and a bunch more structures, like the large Tech Wall, for example. You don't get that from Beta. And then for Element, Gamma gives you 40, Beta gives you 110, and Alpha gives you 220. So you get double the amount of Element from Beta to Alpha, which is just another reason that I think that you should do Alpha instead of doing Beta or Gamma. And then for the items that drop, you get the Gorilla Flag and the Megapithecus Trophy on top of the Element. I'm pretty sure the trophy and the flag just get put into your inventory, but on Arc Ascended, the Element spawns in a drop inside the boss fight arena, so you don't have to worry about the Element or the body despawning or glitching out or anything anymore. You can just kill the boss and grab the Element out of the little loot crate that they put inside the arena. It's actually a pretty decent feature because the bosses used to bug out a ton in the last game, and you literally beat the boss fight and unlock all the tech grams and get no Element. Pretty annoying. But yeah, being that you basically need a space engine to play Arc Ascended, if you've been thinking about upgrading your PC, I'm actually an affiliate for STARFORGE Systems now, which builds custom gaming PCs, and some of the PCs they have are beautiful, and they're all top notch. You could check them out on their website. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment and video description if you want to check those out. And a huge shout out to STARFORGE for allowing me to be an affiliate with them. If the video was helpful to you, don't forget to smash the like button. It helps push the video out to more people, and I really appreciate it. But with that being said, I hope to see y'all in the next one. Peace.